redeemed souls are farmable because we all love handing them in and then having to wait for 20 souls to leap out of our character. So redeemed souls. I think we're all beginning to realize that they shouldn't exist and don't really make much sense.
They seem to...
Very bizarre.
So I can see why they exist in the first place, because there's a couple things that are good about them.
But now they're a bit weird.
Yeah, so the good thing about them is that they actually give you something to do in the Maw that felt like you were the Maw Walker for a reason. Again, because it was tied to a chore that was weekly, it didn't feel very good, but I at least understand the intent. I'll give them that much. And it did work to time get your sanctum upgrades, which in the face of Anima being a massive grind, they kind of screwed the balance on that system, but at least the intent was there. And obviously the design intent is it also gives you, an extra renown a week for a chore in the Maw. So I understand the design intent, but whoever thought that starts at 5, scales up to 20, and thought players would find it fun, I really wanted hand them a video game, because they've clearly never played one before.
Yeah, well, that is what happens, I believe, when you have a lot of decisions that are made around solving a problem or smoothing out a curve, rather than actually what's the experience like for a player. It feels like a bunch of problem solvers, which is inherently defensive, rather than a bunch of, I guess, game designers who are designing a game. It's a bit of a weird distinction, but you know what I mean, right? Whenever things feel very defensive in terms of design, and then as a player, you just kind of feel like it's not great to engage with. But anyway, it's repeatable now. So if you just want to, grind up in your Covenant Sanctums, you can just keep on doing this. And Dakor also like to say, since we're getting a farmable source of redeemable souls, could we also please get a similar treatment for grateful offerings? They're used to purchase Covenant transmogs and mounts from Season 1 and can only really be obtained reliably from a handful of dailies that only give 3 to 5 each. So maybe there's something to that.
And also as a little bit of a tease for later.
Ooh.
So what you've done is you've turned a quest that was weekly available weekly, and you've made it repeatable, so people can do the same thing again and get the rewards again.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. I'll bring that back up a little bit later.
Cool. I have no idea where you're going or what you're talking about, so I guess that's me well and goodly, truly teased. Now then, continuing. PvP hotfixes. Some PvP hotfixes. I didn't even know about this. What's this? It's not important. I mean, it is important to the PvPers, but I imagine this is just a bit more balance. The condensed Animosphere conduit is 50% as effective in PvP for all classes. Perhaps that was dominant.
I feel like they maybe didn't consider that in terms of PvP.
The Shard of Kyr effectiveness reduced by 75% in PvP was 50%. So I guess they're just keeping things balanced. Yep. Also, in-game references to former Blizzard employees have been removed. This is references to Jesse McCree, Luis Briga, and Jonathan LeCraft. Wowhead found a bunch of these that have already gone live. So the inscription signed by the author Lawrence E. Kraft in a steamy romance novel, Stormy Seas, has been changed to signed by the author Noah Scribeson. I mean, it's a bit awkward given everything and that this is a change to the steamy romance novel. But anyway, moving on to the next point. All of the Blood Mist Isle quests referencing Jacera of Macari have been changed. So there's that. Marshall McCree is now called Marshall Patterson. So I guess we'll have to go back to our voice acting sessions for WoW Tales and redo that too. And yes, McCree's sparring gloves is now Patterson sparring gloves. Senior Scrivener Brega, Jessup's report, Jessup McCree, Torturer LeCraft, and Summon Crusader LeCraft. Now, there's also the city of Macari. Could be because of the changing of the pronunciation and stuff like that. They're just going to leave that in. And there's NPCs like Crafticus Mindbender. It's still there unchanged. So
well, that actually, that might not even have been a thing for LeCraft. That's the kind of thing was Crafticus. Maybe not. Maybe not. Depends.
I believe Crafticus was his Twitter handle.
Oh, then never mind. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Macari could be.
I also could be wrong. That's a memory.
Yeah, I feel like Macari could yet be changed, but that's a bigger task than changing some text in a patch.
Absolutely.
It's because you need to get voice actors in. You need to change. You need to get the map redrawn a little bit. that kind of stuff.
You have to open up that PSD.
Brutal,
Boys,
like
dear, that's a lot of
brutal.
work.